Today we're looking at 20 questions regarding classifications of agency. So we don't charge for our content, but we do ask you subscribe, hit the notification button. It's free to do so. That way you don't miss any videos. And then like our content and comment below. Also check out our channel. We have a lot of questions to help you pass your real estate exam. So here we go. Which type of agency relationship involves an agent with limited authority to perform a specific task? C. Special agency. In a special agency, the agent's authority is limited to a specific task or transaction, such as selling a house. What distinguishes a general agency from a special agency? A. The general agent has broad authority to act on behalf of the principal in a variety of matters. B. The general agent's authority is limited to a specific task. C. The general agent represents both buyer and seller. D. The general agent's duties are confined to financial matters. A. The general agent has broad authority to act on behalf of the principal in a variety of matters. A general agent has broad authority to act on behalf of the principal in a range of activities and transactions. Which type of agency gives the agent the most comprehensive level of authority? A. Special agency. B. General agency. C. Universal agency. D. Dual agency. C. Universal agency. A universal agent has the most comprehensive level of authority, able to perform any act the principal can legally delegate. What is dual agency? A. When two agents from different brokerages represent one client. B. When one agent represents both the buyer and seller in the same transaction. C. When an agent represents a client in both buying and selling properties. D. When an agent has authority to handle all the principal's business affairs. B. When one agent represents both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction. Dual agency occurs when a single agent represents both the buyer and the seller in a transaction, potentially leading to conflicts of interest. In which type of agency is the agent authorized to act on behalf of the principal in all matters? A. General agency. B. Special agency. C. Universal agency. D. Dual agency. C. Universal agency. A universal agent has broad and unlimited authority to act on behalf of the principal in all matters. What is a designated agency? A. When one agent represents both parties in a transaction. B. When a broker assigns different agents within the same brokerage to represent the buyer and the seller. C. When an agent is responsible for multiple properties. D. When an agent has limited authority to act on behalf of the principal. B. When a broker assigns different agents within the same brokerage to represent the buyer and the seller. Designated agency occurs when a broker assigns different agents from the same brokerage to represent the buyer and seller separately. What is the primary duty of a buyer's agent? A, to ensure the transaction closes quickly. B, to represent the buyer's interest and help them find a suitable property. C, to help the seller get the highest price. D, to verify the seller's financial background. B, to represent the buyer's interest and help them find a suitable property. The primary duty of a buyer's agent is to represent the buyer's interest in finding and purchasing a property. Before we move on, please take time to subscribe, hit the notification button. It's free to do so. Like or comment, and comment below. Also check out our channel. We have hundreds of exam questions. What type of agency is created by the actions and conduct of the parties, even without a formal agreement? A, express agency. B, implied agency. C, dual agency. D, designated agency. B, implied agency. Implied agency is created by the actions and conduct of the parties, indicating that an agency relationship exists even without a formal agreement. What is the role of a transaction broker? A, to represent both the buyer and the seller with fiduciary duties. B, to assist both parties in a transaction without representing either party. C, to only represent the buyer. D, to only represent the seller. B, to assist both parties in a transaction without representing either party. A transaction broker assists both the buyer and the seller in a transaction, but does not have fiduciary duties to either party. Before we move on, please list in the comments below the 3 classifications of agency. I'll give you a little bit of time. The 3 classifications of agency. You've got to know this for the test. Which type of agency relationship involves an agent representing multiple clients with potentially conflicting interests? A, dual agency. B, designated agency. C, universal agency. D, special agency. A, dual agency. Dual agency involves an agent representing both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction, which can lead to conflicts of interest. What type of agency exists when an agent has a continuous responsibility for a specific business activity of the principal? B, general agency. General agency exists when an agent has an ongoing responsibility for a particular business activity of the principal, such as a property manager. In a real estate transaction, what is a fiduciary? A, someone who owes a duty of loyalty and good faith to another. B, someone who only works with lenders. C, someone who appraises property values. D, someone who inspects homes. A, someone who owes a duty of loyalty and good faith to another. A fiduciary is a person who has a legal obligation to act in the best interest of another party, such as an agent to a client. Which type of agency is established through an express agreement, either written or verbal? A, implied agency. B, general agency. C, express agency. D, dual agency. C, express agency. Express agency is established through a clear written or verbal agreement between the principal and the agent. What is the duty of loyalty in an agency relationship? A, ensuring the transaction closes quickly. B, acting in the best interest of the principal, even above the agent's own interest. C, disclosing personal financial information to the principal. D, guaranteeing the principal the best possible outcome. B, acting in the best interest of the principal, even above the agent's own interest. The duty of loyalty requires the agent to act in the best interest of the principal, prioritizing the principal's interest above their own. What is the primary purpose of a listing agreement? A, to bind the buyer to purchase a specific property. B, to establish an agency relationship between the seller and real estate agents. C, to provide financing options to the buyer. D, to appraise the property value. B, to establish an agency relationship between the seller and the real estate agent. A listing agreement establishes the agency relationship between the seller and the real estate agent, authorizing the agent to market and sell the property. In real estate, what does agency by estoppel mean? B, an agency relationship created by the actions of the parties, even if not formally agreed upon. Agency by estoppel occurs when an agency relationship is created based on the actions or behavior of the parties, even without a formal agreement. Which type of agency allows an agent to act on behalf of a principal in specific limited transactions? A, universal agency. B, general agency. C, special agency. D, dual agency. C, special agency. Special agency limits the agent's authority to specific tasks or transactions. What is the role of designated agent in a real estate transaction? A, to represent both buyer and seller. C, to act as a neutral third party. C, to represent either the buyer or the seller, but not both in a transaction. D, to manage the property for the principal. C, to represent either the buyer or the seller, but not both in a transaction. A designated agent is assigned to represent either the buyer or the seller, avoiding conflicts of interest present in dual agency. What type of agency is typically created by a property management agreement? A, special agency, B, general agency, C, universal agency, D, dual agency. B, general agency. A property management agreement typically creates a general agency, giving the property manager broad authority to manage the property. In which type of agency relationship does the agent owe fiduciary duties to both parties in a transaction? A, single agency, B, dual agency, C, designated agency, D, transaction brokerage. B, dual agency. In a dual agency relationship, the agent owes fiduciary duties to both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction, which can lead to potential conflicts of interest. Well, I hope you did well on this test questions. Please take the time to subscribe. It's free to do so. Hit the notification button so you don't miss one of our videos. Like our content and comment below. Also check out our channel where we have hundreds of exam questions. I hope you do well. Take care. Have a great day.